The 2011 Harvest Appeal is for the church in Calcutta, part of our link with the Church of North India. I've been to Calcutta myself and visited, and the need is enormous. And the cathedral in Calcutta has a relief service run by a wonderful man called Rig David. I met him and his team, visited projects, and in a place where people have very little opportunity really, the Cathedral Relief Service are creating chances for children to have an education and women to learn skills. Often women are the wage earners who keep families together. And this Harvest Appeal, I hope, can raise a substantial sum. I'd like us to beat the £20,000 we raised last year, to invest in this kind of work, giving people a new hope, a new life and a new chance in very basic ways. And that will make an enormous difference to whole communities.
How do you want to encourage people in their imagination so that they can respond to this creatively in the diocese?
Well, let me give you two pictures then. I visited a workshop where 11 women in a little shack, this is in a slum, were learning to use sewing machines. And the kind of project that we will be able to support will provide that learning, and then they can rent a sewing machine and run a little business in their part of the slum area, making clothes for people, making things to sell, and in a small sense begin to stand on their own feet. And it's very moving to watch the enthusiasm of these women, the skills they're learning. Or a second picture, another shack-like small space, 20 children sat in rows, 2 ladies at the front, no equipment at all. When I think of the schools I go into in Derbyshire, with overheads and computers, and the only way they learn is by repeating what the teachers say, and then all the children repeat it back. But they're so keen, their little faces, and of course it begins to give them a way of understanding life, understanding the gospel, and being full of human beings really. Now this appeal will support that kind of work too, through the Cathedral Relief Service.
Two other important points. First of all, what programme has been put together in the way of events? I mean, the music is a theme, isn't it,
Yeah.
for this year? How is the money going to be raised?
Well, we ask schools and parishes to be generous in their own harvest giving, but we also try to encourage it by some public events, as you know, and one of them is a concert in Ashbourne Parish Church on the 23rd of July, 7:30 p.m. I hope everybody who sees this will come and bring a lot of people. It's by a group called Voces Episcopi, which means the voices of the bishop. They're people I know who are first-class singers, some in London. One sings as a deputy at Westminster Abbey, another is a QC, and the conductor of this little group works as director of music at King's College School in Cambridge. So they're people of the top rank really, and for a number of years they've done concerts for me once or twice a year to raise funds for Harvest Appeals. This year we've made a CD of this high quality music. It's stunning, and it's not just beautiful music, it's interspersed with readings by local people like the Vicar of Chesterfield, Michael Knight, like the Dean, Jane Lee, who's an NSM priest, 2 pupils from Repton School, and it offers people the chance, first of all, to listen to this lovely music and also to meditate on the music, and we produced a script to help meditation and to interpret the reading. So it is a kind of spiritual journey. We call it The Hope of Heaven, a traveller's guide. I think that could be an interesting and rich thing for people. It will be on sale for the first time on the 23rd of July, and there will be a live performance of the music and the readings. So this is a really imaginative, creative offering of gifts to encourage others to offer gifts so that we can offer a gift to the Church of North India.
And finally, Bishop, these are really tough times financially.
Yeah.
People are going through it in all sorts of ways. How would you encourage people, despite all these stringent financial times, to really push the boat out a little bit and just give that extra for someone who actually is much worse off than we'll ever be?
Yeah, be generous really. When I visited India, especially Calcutta, this teeming city, people are so generous. I can tell this story against myself. I'm very fussy about food, and I was very nervous about eating food in the slum. And I kind of hinted at this when I went to visit, And Rig David, who's coming over in September to help us learn about the work we're doing firsthand, I met his team, we visited the projects, and then I had a meal with them. And I'm beginning to think, golly, you know, what am I going to have to eat? And bless them, they'd sent out for a takeaway Chinese. Now that was quite expensive for them to do, and that was a really gracious, generous thing to do for a visitor who had some qualms about the local food. That's the kind of spirit there is in these needy areas and amongst the women and young people, and I think we need to be generous back and really dig deep and make a difference across the world.